Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Life Transformation Radio. This show is all about life transformations and our journey from where we were to why we are doing what we are doing today. We will discuss the hiccups, the roller coasters, and the blood, sweat, and tears that has been poured out while discovering our purpose. It is all about our transformations. Here is your host, Sean Douglas.
Welcome to another episode of Life Transformation Radio. I am so excited about this episode. I have an amazing person as a guest, and she is going to show us how to jumpstart your marketing and jumpstart your biz, and I cannot wait to unpack everything that we're going to go through. We are listened to in 8 countries now. I can't believe it. I checked the analytics of the show a couple of days ago. 8 countries. Thank you to the listeners who are making this possible, and you are allowing me to live my dream. So I want to thank all the listeners and everybody who is listening right now. We are a live show, so you can call in and talk to Katrina if you have a question. The number is 657-383-1109. Again, it's 657-383-1109. So let's get started. Katrina, how are you?
I'm great, Sean. Hey, congratulations on the show. That's so awesome. It's not easy to get in so many countries. I bet you'll double that probably in a month with all the great guests you have on.
That'd be so amazing. So jumpstart your marketing. I love it. So let's learn about Katrina. Katrina is an award-winning coach known as the Jumpstart Your Biz Coach because she literally kicks her clients and their businesses into high gear. She is the Jumpstart Your Marketing and Sales System creator and author of Love Yourself Successful. She helps you move faster and more affordably towards your ultimate revenue and professional goals using online and offline marketing strategies. Katrina has been named the networking queen by her peers and clients. Consistent networking and follow-up is the primary reason Katrina has been so successful in her business. Katrina transformed her local hourly fee-based business into an international online marketing, coaching, and information product company. Her business has a big online focus with automated marketing, high-end services, coaching, consulting, products, programs, events, and even speaking. She has been featured on Oprah and Friends XM Radio Network, ABC, and even the CW. You can get a free Entrepreneur's Success Kit plus 2 other free business building gifts online that she is giving away. It's only going to happen today at jumpstartyourmarketing.com/free gifts. Again, that is jumpstartyourmarketing.com/free gifts. Go get it now before they are all gone. Man, if I need marketing, I'm coming to you. Like, you sound like a complete, amazing, badass. I can't,
you
holy
are
crap.
So funny. Can you just record my intro from my podcast, please, just so that I have so much excitement packed into the beginning of it? That's awesome. I love your energy. That's great.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So the first question we always ask, right? The first question on this show is why? Why are you a Jumpstart Your Marketing creator? Why did you write a book? What is your why?
Well, why I started my business is different than my why. Why I started my business was I saw a bunch of small businesses going out of business because they didn't know what they were doing, and every time I tried to tell them what to do, they were just barely surviving, and they were struggling, and they were just trying to keep up. Why I knew that I needed to be an entrepreneur is, number one, I'm really not employable like probably a lot of entrepreneurs you talk to. My last boss, I strategically, I told him to go push it in a way that not nice language. Yeah. And because it was just, there was so much inauthenticity in some of the jobs that I've had and people and bosses that I experienced that I was like, I got to get out of here and away from these people. They're driving me crazy. I just want to be around positive, uplifting people who want to encourage me and do what they say and say what they do, not the opposite. So that's another reason. But and when I started my own business, I was in my starter marriage. So I had a different why then than I do now. So now I'm in a really great supportive marriage with an 8-year-old stepdaughter, and everything is really great. And I just want to spend more time with them, frankly. I still want to help a lot of people make more money doing what they love and stop working so hard. But it's more about creating a great life for my family and myself, and just impacting a lot more people in the process.
That's all. Yeah, impacting more people. Yeah, I think you definitely do that. So we met last May, at the One Life Fully Lived conference that was in Westchester, Pennsylvania. And I want to tell a really funny story about Sacramento. So I will never, like, the one memory, I mean, besides what I learned from you in Philly, I saw you in Sacramento, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. I get to see her again. And, and I was telling people, like, you need to go see her. Like, oh, my gosh. They're like, dude, I already know. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought I had, like, insider news. No, not so much. Like, everybody knows you're awesome. And so I remember at the end of the conference, like, we were sitting there. You were standing behind me, and it was so funny. This guy comes up to me. He's like, hey, man, saw you book, and, I really want to get to know you more and whatever. And you look, and, like, you're standing behind me because we were talking. You're like, give him your business card. I was like, oh, here's my business card, And so we continue talking. He's like, hey, man, yeah, where can I reach you? You're like, look him up on Facebook. I was like, hey, man, I'll look you up on Facebook. like everything that I'm doing wrong. You're like, hey, do this. I'm like, hey, I need to get your phone number, and hey, let's write this down. You're like, good job. oh,
that's so funny. I was feeding you lines, huh?
Right? Yeah, you were. You're like feeding me. You're like, do this.
I do that with my 8-year-old. We just did it actually last night because she was doing a fundraiser. Not kidding. I'm not kidding. For her second grade class, and she's selling magazines. And my husband and I saw it last night, and we're like, oh, we don't want any more magazines, right? Please don't make us buy magazines. Right. And so I'm like, okay, if you want to sell magazines, you need to make some phone calls. And she did this before, actually, and she made a few phone calls, and she won through the whole school, K through 6. She won the fundraiser. So she's all like thinking she's going to win this fundraiser and get the prizes and stuff. I said, you got to make some phone calls. And so, but all she could raise was like $20 last night. And I'm like, well, maybe we'll do door to door. So we went to the neighbors and so I was telling her in her ear what to say, because she called her grandma and grandpa, and she's like, so remember when you gave us money or gave me money for my fundraiser? I have another one. That was their first line when they said hello, right? She didn't even say, like, oh, honey, you got to build relationship. You got to say, hi, how you doing first? That's funny.
Hi, give me money.
Right? She didn't even say hi. She just said, can I have some money, basically.
It's awesome.
Oh,
wow.
She's not going to be.
Perfect.
I got to work on that.
Right. So taking a small business that you had to just exploding it and scaling it, right? Tell me who you were before you got to this point. Who was Katrina? Like leaving that job and building that small business, and like take us through that. Like who were you in the beginning?
Well, who I was in my business was different than who I was personally. It's interesting, and this is part of what I do. Is now I'm merged. I'm one, right? I am one. My personal values and everything match my business values, and before they were kind of separate, and I kept personal stuff separate than business, which a lot of people do, but I encourage you not to. So in business, I was the person who, I was the go girl. I was everywhere. You saw me everywhere. I knew everyone. I would follow up like crazy, so you always knew who I was. I was on top of mind with people, and I was always shooting my mouth off, giving people advice whether they asked for it or not. And I still kind of
I think you still do that.
I still kind of do that today, but I try to ask if they want my help first. I don't always. It just depends.
Right.
But if I see something that can be improved on and they can do better with, I want to tell them because, I don't know. Anyways.
That's who you are, though. You want to
was
bring value to people's lives.
I do. I want to see people make a lot more money doing what they love, because I know that will bring them more happiness, more joy, more freedom, and hopefully better health, because they're focusing on themselves more instead of just in the grind constantly 24/7, which so many people are. And I just hate to see that. So I hate to see them working so hard when there's systems and things you can do and put in place to make it easier. So.
Perfect. Well, that's good. So how important is it to merge those values that you have in your personal life into your business life?
I think it's critical now, especially with video and social media. I mean, I started back when we didn't really have that. It was back in 2002. It seemed like forever ago, but we barely even had websites. You didn't need a website back then to do business, and especially if you were just like local business marketing or whatever, and most people were. A lot of us weren't thinking of going global or getting clients all over the world or having clients in different countries. I mean, it wasn't on top. True. It wasn't conscious. It wasn't, we weren't conscious of that opportunity for most people. But now there's so many opportunities. So people have got to experience you before they're going to buy from you these days, and one way or the other. And a lot of times that's with video and the written word or an audio like this or something like this, because just reading a web page or seeing a business card or meeting you in person is not enough. You got to have more to back it up these days. And showing your personal side. Yeah.
That's what I see, yeah. You have to bring value.
Well, showing your personal side is critical, because if you're hiding your personal side, sometimes we can tell, especially if there's something wrong or you're not totally happy. Like, I wasn't totally happy in my marriage at the time, and so I would go out and be all happy-go-lucky girl in the networking events and with clients, and then I would go home and literally cry myself to sleep at night for 2 years. And I know that it showed on my face and in my energy to a certain extent, right? I think I was pretty good at masking it, but I'm sure that other people saw that I wasn't happy, right? Just like I can see when a lot of times people are deflecting or they're not fully engaged because something's on their mind or whatnot. So you got to be careful because you can lose clients and you can lose credibility if you're not fully transparent.
That's huge. Yeah, that's way huge.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, what I'm learning, as I'm building my brand and my business, is that you have to be authentic, genuine, and transparent. You absolutely have to, because people will see right through your crap. They see what you're actually after. Yep. So looking back, can you pinpoint exactly what your transformation was? Like, how did you get to the point that you're at now?
Oh, there was multiple transformations between then and now. I think we're always transforming and we're always evolving.
Absolutely.
Right? But the biggest thing was leaving that marriage for me. It signified freedom, confidence, faith in myself, taking charge of my life, not settling for an unhappy situation, and really going after what I wanted in business and just being that confident leader and independent woman instead of, oh, no, I need to stay and be attached to this person because I'm scared to be on my own. So when I left the marriage, it was like, whoop, no, I'm on my own, and it's do or die. It's all going to work itself out kind of thing. And it was just this amazing leap of faith that started multiple leaps of faith along the way that is really the biggest transformation, I think, because I really learned that I should never settle in anything I'm doing, right? So when I left the job, I was settling for being unhappy in a work situation. When I was in the marriage and crying myself to sleep, I was settling for a relationship that wasn't serving me any longer. And settling is not a good thing. It's not a good feeling, and and it can really burn you out and lower your self-confidence and self-esteem, which totally represents you, or in the wrong way when you want to go get clients or drum up your business.
That's huge. Wow, there's like so much in there. Like, don't settle. That's the main message I got. But strive for more though. Like, it doesn't mean that, well, I have to leave one job to go get another. It's just but it's about elevating, and it's about transforming into something better than you were yesterday. That's what I got out of that message.
Yeah, and it's having faith. I learned a few years many years later, actually, from that day, that I had more faith in myself and my abilities than a lot of people out there. A lot of people out there don't have as much faith that it's going to work itself out, that they're going to be successful, that they're going to make the money, that they're going to find a man, that they're going to, not need to rely on a job, that whatever it is, most people don't have as much faith, and I don't know why. Well, of course, it's probably due to, how we were raised and what people said to us when we were kids, of course. And I don't remember ever being told that I couldn't do something, or that it wasn't, that nothing, I couldn't be what I wanted to be or whatever. To this day, my mom still, she's like, I have no idea how you are so successful. I could never do what you're doing. She's like, I don't know where you got this. Wow. I have no idea. But I surely didn't get it from my mom or dad. They were very much the job people. And, they were not entrepreneurs at all whatsoever. So I have no idea where I got this amount of faith and whatever. Most people that are entrepreneurs come from an entrepreneur family, I would imagine, at some level. So or know somebody. I didn't really know anybody.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, but you took it upon yourself. You said, I'm going to make this happen no matter what. And because of your strong values, you're like, I think there's a certain tenacity that somebody has to have that says, you know what, I can do it better, not in a cocky way, but I know I can do it better, and I know I have some skills that I believe it. Like you said, faith. I have faith that my skills, I was listening to, I listened to Russell Brunson, and he has a marketing podcast. He's doing marketing in your car. And literally, it was so funny. I was driving to work, and I literally live 5 minutes away. So I'm like, every time I drive to and from work, I'm going to listen to one of the shows. I live on base. I work on base. And one of the things that he said that struck out to me was don't look for B-level opportunities if you have A-level skills. If you have A-level skills, believe in your skills and get A-level opportunities. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Just the way that you put it, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh my gosh, that is amazing. So now I'm looking for stuff like that, A-level opportunities.
And that's just settling, right? Because so many people will think, oh, well, I could never make that, or, oh, I could never make it on my own, or it's going to take too long to make it on my own, or I can't afford to live on my own, or whatever it is with business or life or relationships. They always have these doubts. And, of course, I have had some doubts, but I just decided to not believe the doubts and believe the other stuff instead. And it's just a decision. It's just a decision. And
absolutely. But
then you got to take some action. I worked my little tushy off to get where I am. So it doesn't come overnight like a lot of the internet marketers would like to have you believe. There's a very, very small percentage of people who make millions over, in a weekend or whatever they're promising. Very small percentage for the norm. So don't be led to astray. There's nothing better than consistent, frequent, revenue-generating activities to grow your business on a regular basis, because consistency is the key.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like how you were talking about the doubts and the faith and everything, and it's just, everybody has doubts, like you said, but, faith is not the absence of the doubt. Faith is the overcoming of that doubt and just doing it no matter what. and making it happen because you
Exactly.
believe in yourself.
And is it scary? And did I cry myself to sleep a couple nights because I was freaked out about money? Yes. Did I have I cried on my office floor because I had with bills all around me on the floor going, oh my God, which ones don't I pay because I can't pay them all? Yes, I've been there. Right? I filed bankruptcy along the way. It's, because I've had 2 hip surgeries, medical expenses put me under. A bunch of expenses with an old boyfriend put me under. There's just life happens. But you can't go running back to the comfort zone of getting a job when you're really meant to be an entrepreneur. You have to just keep pushing forward and know that it's just going to work itself out. No one's going to die. I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to be homeless. There's always a place to stay if for some reason, whatever. You just have to think like that. And that's what I thought. And I'm like, okay, worst possible scenario. I move in with my mom. I can work from anywhere, the internet, whatever. I'm not, it would suck. It's not in my plan, but I'm not scared because there's always something that I can, I can always save myself somehow. Or I did when I had a boyfriend one time, and I invested like $50,000 into a house that we bought together, and then he decided to break up, and I had to leave it all there. And I went and lived with a girlfriend in her spare bedroom with my dog, right, for 4 months, I think, during this whole process. And that was a humbling experience. But I did what I had to do until I could get back into my house and all that. So it was. Yeah.
That's crazy. So tell me, you don't have to go too far into it, but tell me how you literally, because that's what it says, literally kick your clients and their business into high gear. Like, what is that? Give me an overview. What does that look like?
It looks like you deciding, first of all, somebody has to decide to want to make those kinds of changes, because a lot of people know what they need to do in their marketing and their business, but they're not doing it for whatever reason. Sometimes it's fear of the unknown. Sometimes it's too many distractions in their life. Sometimes it's too many options and they freeze up because they don't know which one to do. So first you have to decide that you do want to go big. And when I say go big, it doesn't have to mean you have a goal of making millions of dollars. Sometimes I talk to people who just want to make a really good living. Great, but you're going to have to do probably as much marketing to make $60,000 a year as you will if you want to make $600,000 a year. Okay, because of the way the world is now with the online marketing and websites and video and all this stuff, you can't, you can just go to a few networking events and follow up with people. As long as you're selling something high priced enough, you could make $60,000 if you really worked it on a regular, consistent basis. Most people will not do that though, or they'll get distracted left and right. So first we have to have them decide they want that. And why, right? Like you asked me, the first question is what's your why? So we go there. And then we have to figure out, okay, how bad do you want it and what does your number look like? Like most people don't even know what they need to make. They don't know what they need to make. So we figure out your need, what I call your need number. Like what do you really need, number one, to pay your bills and not stress and not take out from savings? Because that is then the, I can breathe mode, right? And then after you get to that mode, right, in your business, in your finances, then it's like, okay, now we got a bigger goal. And now we can start, if we make a lot more money, we can start contributing back. We can do bigger things. What is it you want to do? And what's your want number, right? And then we have to go after your want number. So we have to evolve everything from there. So it takes a little time because a lot of what I just said requires mindset shifts. It requires mindset shifts and also foundational shifts in your website, your strategy, possibly with your team if you have one or don't or need one, and even your thinking about what you're saying to people and how you're saying it to people and what you're selling. So there's a lot. That's just a beginning of the iceberg, and then There is an
It's
art.
an art.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little different for everybody. That's the basics of the starting point, and
Sure.
if you're already there, great, then we just rock and roll with how to fix this and how to fix that and how to implement this and what to do here and how to do this and what to do here. And then we just put the how in place and get it all implemented and delegate it ideally, because you can't do it all yourself. So it's
right.
yeah.
I like how you start off with a direction. As I'm listening, I'm like, that's awesome. Like, I'm kind of dissecting it in my mind. It's like you literally start off with a direction. Like, what do you need? Like, I need. Let's say this goes 60,000. I need the 60,000. Okay, you have 60,000. Okay, got it. Okay, now what do you want? Like, I'd love to make 120,000. You're like, okay, so now we know, right? Like, you have to start somewhere. Like, you just don't get in a car and drive somewhere that you don't know where to go and not use a GPS. You're like, I think I'll drive around for about 3 hours and then I'll go get help. Like, can you imagine if we placed what we do in life to the simple things in life? Like, I don't know how to do something like cook something, so I'm gonna potentially burn the house down to find out. Nope, that didn't work. Let me go call a chef. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me drive around for 4 hours and get lost and run out of gas.
Right. Get directions
right?
or a GPS, right? You either have someone tell you what to do, which is what I do, or you might have an online thing that tells you, which is the do-it-yourself products or programs, right? The podcast.
Right.
So
right.
It is.
And I literally look
so
at
very
everything
true, but
I do. I do that, and I look at the analogies. Like life is a chessboard. You got to strategically move places, and you got to like I never thought this way until I went to the One Life Fully Lived conference, and I met like you and Tim and John and everybody. And then as I'm a year later, here I am. I can pick out so many things in business I can use in life, and in life I can use in business. Like I look at a GPS and I'm like, why am I using a GPS? Because I don't know something. Smack myself in the head. I'm like, oh. So I went and got a speaker program because I want to become a better speaker. So I got to buy a speaker program because I need to be better. So invest in yourself. Yeah. So I have to invest in those tools.
Yeah. It's so true. And if you think you're not going to, or you're not going to, it's going to be very challenging for you. I have a college degree, but I can tell you that the main thing I learned from the real college degree is the what do you call it? I guess the work habits. The work habits of getting up and going to class and learning the thing and then applying the thing, and also the socializing of it all, which is the personal stuff, right? So that's what I learned in college. I learned a little bit about the marketing stuff in college, but most of it I learned after, when I was actually in the business, and I hired other mentors, coaches, and went into masterminds and went to workshops. I mean, I invested a couple $100,000 already to date, if not more, at least $200,000 on all of that to learn what I know now.
Wow.
And but if you can make that every year, if not
absolutely.
more,
It probably paid for itself.
Yeah, it totally does. I've been in business for 15 years. I've been in six figures for 9 of those years now, right? So if you want to make 6 figures or 7 figures, you better pay to play, babe, because it's not just gonna insert this knowledge into your head overnight while you're sleeping. Oh, this is what you need to do and how to do it. Go, it just doesn't happen. I'm sorry. You need to invest. So.
And like you said, it's always evolving too. So it's not like, okay, I've got this marketing thing down. I'm on autopilot because new apps come out. I remember. You had the email marketing stuff, and then you had the multi-level marketing stuff, and the network marketing was kind of the same thing. But I started out, back in 2006. I was like, I'm going to get in a multi-level marketing company because they told me that I'm going to be like filthy rich and I'm going to sell these products. And I quickly found out that it is very hard work to build relationships with people. It's not just, hey, buy my product. Like, you have the company behind you, but that's about it. Like, you have the name. It's all about building the rapport, building the relationship, and I absolutely sucked. And I was like, all right, I need some help. Let me go find somebody who's way better at this than me. Learn from them. Came back. applied, and I became successful.
Yeah, I tell you.
Yep. So, what was the best part about your transformation? What do you think was the best part about it?
The best part is when years later I can reflect back on it and use it as a lesson to help others, because it certainly wasn't going through the process.
I love it. Oh my God.
Honestly, seriously, I mean, awesome. That's why we don't share our lessons as we're going through them, or our tragedies. That's why if someone just recovers from a life-threatening whatever, they don't go speak about it the following week, right? They wait a year or two until they've recovered a little bit, reflected, and then built something around that.
Exactly. Yep. I don't want to talk to nobody about nothing. If I'm going through something, I'm like, no, I don't. Leave me alone. I'm trying to figure my life out.
Yeah.
I don't make it worse.
And you don't always see you don't always see the message anyways. But, I mean, the best thing I think is that I learned a lot about, I'm all about love and money. So I want to help you make more money in your business, but I also want you to have more love in your life. And for me, that was the biggest thing in the last 15 years that I am so grateful for, that I really learned how to value myself enough to wait and or search for and or go after the right significant other for me to spend the rest of my life with. And so, because who the hell cares about anything else if you're not completely happy in your personal life, right? In my opinion.
Absolutely.
I mean, money is
great.
No,
you're
but if I don't have someone
100%.
to share it with, it's nothing, right?
Yep.
So that to me was
probably
the best growth that I've had.
Awesome.
Is learning how to be
a
better partner.
Perfect. On the opposite side of that, what was the worst part about your transformation?
Oh, we
already cover it.
Right. The worst part, I think,
perfect.
was realizing that that not everybody I thought was on the up and up was on the up and up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's really
I had
tough.
to really learn the integrity lesson, and I learned it was a very, very, very expensive lesson to learn. And when you meet somebody that says they're doing this and that, or that you're going to get this and that, and then you don't get this or that. In fact, you get the complete opposite of this or that. It's devastating, you know. So, and then you feel like you have bad judgment, and you can't trust your judgment anymore. You can't trust your gut because you made bad decisions or whatever, or not bad, but ineffective decisions. So that's probably been the hardest part, is struggling with some of that. I'm much more intuitive these days, let me tell you.
Yeah, I've met people on the way, and I'm like, oh, I really like what this guy's message is, or oh, I like how he's doing this, or whatever, and maybe he'll give me some advice or something, and like my wife or my friend will be like, hey man, I wouldn't do that, like that's not good, like I wouldn't follow him, like no, his values are all messed up, or it'll be some reason I'm like, no, he's a good guy, or no, she's awesome, like you don't even know, like she's this person and this, and come to find out, like, yep, it was true, they're really not a good person. You're just like, man, I thought I had it figured out.
I know.
Yep.
Well, you gotta listen to those whispers,
right?
and
then you gotta go back and
now,
figure out where you left off because you took bad advice or whatever. You need to figure out where you left off, erase all that, try to move forward from where you left off. You're just like, So I try to get at least 2 to 3 people's different advice and see kind of where the similarities are, and then just do that. Kind of where I'm at now.
Yeah, right. You want to get a few opinions and then take the...
Right.
Exactly.
That's
a good way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is like a great transition into the next question.
Oh, good.
And then really what?
I'm waiting. I said, oh, good. Then what is it? Tell me. I can't wait to hear the next question.
So who has been? You're so crazy. Who has been your biggest influencer?
Oh, that's a hard question.
Oh yes, the hard questions
really,
on
really...
the show. Let me tell you.
And I kind of even knew you were going to ask it, and I'm like, I don't know what to say to that question.
Right.
You know, I've had a lot of people who've shared very valuable advice with me, and I think it would be a group of people. So I was in this mastermind program one year, and it was with a pretty high-priced mentor or coach. And there was about 15 of us, I think, in the mastermind. And that was the year that I said, okay, I'm all in. I went big with a big investment for this mastermind program, bigger than I had before. And I had a lot of good friends in the group, and it was great. And I thought, okay, I'm going to sail through this. People are going to tell me what to do. I'm going to make a lot more money. And I hadn't made six figures yet in the business. And what happened that year was looking back on it, I was completely resistant to their advice. I don't know why. I was resistant to change. This is the year that I went and dove a lot deeper into myself. And because I would say, okay, get up in front of the room. What do I need to do to make a lot more money, get more clients? What do you think I need to do? Do I need to change my website? Do I need to add a new product? Do I need to do this? Get more speaking gigs? Tell me what I need to do. All of them said, you just need to be love. And I'm like, what? Like, no, you just need to tell me what to do. I mean, okay, great. Like, and they said, no, you just need to be love. And I'm like, you guys are smoking something, because I don't know what that means. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Sit her on my butt? Like, no. And so I didn't get it.
Right.
And I was fighting it all year long. And at the end of the year, I must have done something right, because I hit six figures, and I found love in my life that year. It wasn't the real one. That was the fake in-between love. But I found love and money that year. And I thought, oh, my God, I just need to be love. Okay, that's all. And so that was my turning point of really being more and not just doing in my business. So it was the group together pushed me so far out of my comfort zone, it wasn't even funny. So it was a power of the group, you know, because I wouldn't have listened to just one person. So, I was way too resistant. So
yeah, absolutely, perfect. Yeah, I mean, I think masterminds are great. I've heard of masterminds being thousands of dollars, you know, but those are the guys who are multi-millionaires, and you know that type of money is you know, when they say thousands of dollars, they're like, oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Just charge it. You know, it's way good. You know, whatever. I'm like, well,
right.
I'm trying to make thousands
nowadays.
You know?
Right. Sure.
Right.
I know. I was in one recently that was like $5,000 for the year. I'm like, oh, well, okay, here's my card. Well, that's just stupid cheap. Why? That's way too cheap. You're undervaluing. What are you doing? Who are you? But I like your advice for this certain thing, so I'll go pay you.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah.
Anyway.
There you go. Well, there you go. I mean, you know what though? Like, I would be willing to pay. Like, if someone says for a year, you give me $5,000, one-time payment, $5,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You pay $5,000, and I guarantee you that I will reframe your mindset, your foundation, and that will help you to be a millionaire. Like, at the end of the year, you'll be way more successful, and you'll be making way more money. I guarantee it. You know, why wouldn't you pay it? You know, like, oh my God.
Oh, of course. Right.
Like, it blows my mind. So if that's your biggest influencer, then who has been your biggest supporter, or who is your biggest supporter?
Well, now my biggest supporter is my husband, because
Perfect.
without him, I'd have more up and down days, right? Because those doubts, I still have some doubts. I still have days where I'm like, oh, why did I do this? Or, oh, I have days where so-and-so said something that really affected me or whatever. And because I have him, it just kind of goes under the carpet, or it goes away really easily, because he just shifts it in my head. And I'm like, oh, you're right. Never mind. Right. So that it's good to have somebody who's on your team, 100% supportive, and understands what you're doing, right? He's gone to events with me. He's been in a mastermind with me. He's been at my live events before and seen what I've done for 3 days with people in a room. So he gets it, and he gets me, whereas my previous husband wouldn't even come watch me do a 20-minute speaking gig. He didn't even care about any of that. Geez. So that's just, it's wrong. So if my huge message to a lot of people is, if you're in a relationship like that where people are not even supportive like that, you're settling. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're 20 or 40 or 85 years old. You might have another 10, 20 years left, if not a lot more. Do you really want to be in that boat? I would say, I hope not.
Huge. Absolutely. So we're coming to a close, and Life Transformation Radio listeners, if you want to ask Katrina a question, the number is 657-383-1109. Again, 657-383-1109. So talk to us about where you're heading now, like new adventures, businesses, family. What do you got cooking up?
Well, I'm revamping the online side of my business. So it's I have a ton of programs, products, and services, as you can imagine, after 15 years. And I just need to repackage, reposition, rebrand, redo. It's one of those years for me. And then I'm all about systems and ease in my business, so that I can enjoy more family freedom and things that I really want to do. So I'm at a good point right now in that, but I'm revamping. So revamping means more work. And so I'm waiting. I can't wait till everything's revamped so that I can chill again or think of the next thing. So, but revamping means setting up my business for longer term ease, flow, and profits. Yep. So if you're not there and you don't have that kind of automation, you need it, because it's the only way you're going to get
too, which is
your life.
Big.
Yeah. I love my events. I do 3 to 4 live events a year. For entrepreneurs, speakers, about marketing, speaking, business in general. Bring in speakers to those as well. I travel all over and speak at other people's conferences and events. So I love speaking. I love doing events. I love working with my own mastermind. Those are my favorite type of clients, people that are all in, and so more
and you are an amazing, incredible speaker. Yeah, you're an amazing, incredible speaker. I saw you at the One Life, and I loved, listening to you, and you're so incredibly knowledgeable and transparent too. There's nothing that you won't try to help somebody do. I think it's a really great value to have. It's about giving back, and I can help you because you're the person of value, and that's what I want to be, is a person of value and have my life mean something to somebody, and I think you do a really, really good job of doing that.
You got to shift that, sweetie, because you already are. Look at you. Look at how the message you're bringing to the world and all these great people you're bringing on your show, and plus everything else you're doing. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop.
Trying to get there. Yep, trying to get there. So what do you think was the best resource that you found during your journey? Or that you have now? What do you think is the best resource? This is so invaluable, I can't give this away.
Virtual assistants. You must have.
Virtual assistants.
And
Okay.
the bigger you get, the
like a
the
CRM?
more you need. What?
You talk about like a CRM, or you talk about like
No.
Aweber, MailChimp, Constant Contact, like?
No, I'm talking about
Unpack
people. Purple.
Oh, people. Okay.
People. Yeah, you got to have
Okay.
team. You got to have team to make the dream work. You know.
Got it. Yeah.
There's no
Absolutely.
way I would be here without my team. I've got 3 really active virtual assistants who work for my company every week, plus web designers and legal team and graphic designers and publishers. And you got to have the team and you got to, before you need it. You need it. Before you think you need it and before you think you can afford it, you need team. So that's the biggest
It's a pretty expensive
resource.
list.
But you can start small, but you got to start building a team of the right people, and that is what allows me the freedoms and things that I can, I can go away for a week on vacation or a week on a business trip and not even really have to check my email or my voicemail because things are on autopilot or somebody else is taking care of them. I don't have to be checking messages. I don't have to be replying to emails. I don't have to be troubleshooting stuff. My clients know how to reach me if they need me, but anybody else can wait or they know how to, get to somebody. So people that take their business with them on vacation and in their personal lives and every second of the day, it's too much. You want to stop that.
Yeah.
You want to figure out how to leverage yourself a little bit better, or you might drive away loved ones or miss things in your personal life and or more.
Yep. So true. Yeah, absolutely so true. So this is this part of the show where we give you the mic and you just run away with it. So this is your shameless plug moment. You can plug a friend, quote, website, Facebook, your products, whatever it is, you can just shamelessly plug in. So whatever you want to plug, go.
So I have 3 hours? What? How long? No, I'm just kidding. Just totally kidding. Hey, you can't give a marketer and a speaker open floor without giving us a time frame. Is it 60 seconds? I mean, I know how to do a commercial. Come on now. You'll be sorry if you let me go like that. See, I'm the courteous one that's asking you.
You're on the clock. A couple minutes.
No, I'm totally kidding. I know you don't want to keep it.
Yeah, no.
That's funny. So first of all, you mentioned One Life where we both met, and I love that organization. So I know they have a conference coming up in May in Philly. I can't be there this year.
June 3rd.
I'm going to be at the Sacramento one. Oh, it's in June 3rd. Thank you. And so you got to go to onelifefullylive.org. You got to get in that community because we love it, and I know a lot of your guests are part of it too. Secondly, I do have a great Facebook group that is pretty interactive, and I'm in there every week answering questions and things. So that's really, if you have questions or want to pick my brain or have things you want to talk about or discuss or even promote your business, you can do it in my JumpStart Your Biz group. So all you have to do is go to Facebook and type in JumpStart Your Biz, and you should find it, or you can connect with my business page. Either way, I'm sure you'll find it. But,
there's a ton of links down there, so they'll find.
I know. But as far as engaging more with me, go to jumpstartyourmarketing.com /free gifts. Like you said at the beginning of the show, you'll get some really cool free trainings, but you'll also start getting my emails, and I do video tips on my emails, and they're really good. They're really in-depth, trainings on things that you need to do. Like my last one is about your marketing calendar for the year and what to do every week in your marketing and how to keep it consistent. And I gave tips and stuff. So, I mean, it's solid content on my email. But then come to Sacramento and see me at a live event. So I'd love to see you. There's an event page on my website. Come and see me. Yeah.
I definitely want to get out to one of your events. I definitely want to, just soak up as much as I can. Because just a little taste of what I got, last year, I was like, oh my gosh, like I really, you when you hear somebody amazing and powerful and they give you that knowledge and they empower you, you really look back and go, wow, I've done this wrong the entire time. Like, I cannot believe that I was doing it so wrong. I was doing it backwards. Like, literally, I was doing it backwards. I was starting at the back and working my way forward. Nope, step one, I just had it all messed up. So, yeah, so I learned a lot. But I definitely will. That's my goal. That's a 2017 goal is to get out there again. So, perfect.
Well, July and November, baby.
So as we wrap up,
get it on the calendar.
July and November. There you go. July and November, everyone. Go flood Sacramento at Katrina's event, July and November. So as we wrap up, deliver your best nugget of knowledge, all right? Your best nugget of knowledge that will motivate, transcend, and inspire someone.
Stop settling. I mean, you're worth more and you deserve more. And you can have what you want and go after what you want. You have to believe it, own it, have faith it's going to happen, and just go out there and get it.
Boom! Mic drop. I love it.
Boom!
Love it. So call to action time. Here's our last thing we got to do. Before we wrap up, we got to give a call to action. So what should someone do today? We talked about you got this amazing book and, the products and the websites and in the show notes, Life Transformation listeners, in the show notes, there's a ton of links. Check them out. Go get your free gift. Like you have to do this. So what is your call to action that you want to give someone today?
Well, I have a brand new JumpStart Your Biz quiz. So, there's a ton of stuff on my website. You can buy the book, yada, yada. But if you're not sure where you are in your business, maybe you should get a pulse of it and see. Oh. So you could go to jumpstartyourbizquiz.com, jumpstartyourbizquiz.com, and take the quiz. It's free. And it'll spit out your results right away and tell you what to do about it and everything. So it's an automated tool. Love it. I love it. I just launched it. Actually, I haven't even shared it with my own list yet. And so you're the first to see it.
I'm gonna do it. I just I put in a request to join your Jumpstart Your Marketing group. And the first person that I saw, has like little pictures, has little pictures about who's in the group or whatever. And some of the names on there, I was like, okay, cool. Like, like CJ and a couple of people from One Life, but Tanya Hoffman, I was like, oh my God, like, this is awesome. Because Tanya's cool. Yeah. And we've talked on the phone a little bit. We've talked on the phone.
It's her birthday today.
I gotta get in, and I've been putting off joining and paying the dues and for the Speakers Association, but I just gotta screw it, just do it. I don't know why I've been putting it off.
You gotta do PSA because there's a conference coming up the end of June. It's amazing. So I'm gonna be there. I'm the MC this year. I spoke the last 3 years in a row, but it's gonna be super fun because I'm the MC. So I get the mic all the time.
Oh boy. That's perfect for you.
I know.
That's perfect for you.
It is.
I cannot thank you enough for the time that you have given and for the knowledge. I've gotten so much out of the show. I have like a ton of notes laying in front of me. I'm like a sticky pad freak, and I have like these sticky notes with like all this stuff on there, and I'm gonna do the quiz because I need to know where I'm at because I'm trying to build my stuff up. So I want to thank you so much for your time and being on the show. This has been amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So Life Transformation Radio, this has been another episode, and if you have gotten anything out of this episode or any other episode, go on to iTunes. This episode will be up on iTunes and Stitcher tomorrow, and go on there, rate it, review it, leave some comments. I love reading the comments that people leave on Facebook and stuff about the show. So if this show has resonated with you in any way or any other show on Life Transformation Radio, please review and rate and let me know what you think. So until next time, remember to live your brand. Find opportunities to live your values every single day of your life. I call it living your brand. We'll see you next time. Have a great night.